Hello brothers and sisters, and welcome back to the channel. We're back, which means one thing: the Bills are still alive in the playoffs. That is right, we are going to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. How exciting is that?
It's pretty exciting. I know I'm pretty excited. I was a little skeptical, but they're on a roll right now, and they're in a pretty good place.
I was not skeptical. I believe you might recall, just right over there by that window, it's just a few feet away from us, I was telling you that the Bills are going to the Super Bowl, and they were going to go through Arrowhead to do it.
I actually thought we were in Rich Stadium when you said that.
We were in Rich Stadium. The Rich Stadium is like right outside our house here, that's why. But no, let's talk about the Bills, because they've won two playoff games now, and they've won them in both very different fashions. They beat the Colts, really on the back of Josh Allen. You could say he was the reason they won that game. But then the Ravens came to town with their running game, and the knock on Buffalo all week was that the Ravens were just going to run all over us, and Leslie Frazier, credit to him, came up with an excellent defensive game plan and shut those Ravens right down. So that brings us to the question, how do the Bills on defense attack this high-powered Kansas City offense?
Well, that's a good question. Hopefully they're going to do it better than the last time they played, when they just decided we're going to let them run the ball because we don't want Mahomes throwing. But they're going to clearly need to do a better job than they did the first time here. I don't really think, when that offense is humming, I don't really know that you can slow it down. I think... And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think that for the Bills to win the game, though, they're going to need to score some points.
The story of the Week 6 matchup was that the Bills were really willing to give up the run and just play coverage, rush four guys, and try to and just let them run on us and not let guys like Hill or Kelsey beat them with big plays. And sure enough, the Bills were run all over in that game by the Chiefs.
And Kelsey still hurt them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about that. I'm just to interject here, we are assuming that Mahomes is going to play.
We are assuming he's going to play, yeah. He's still in concussion protocol as of recording this on Wednesday, but all trends right now are pointing to him playing, so I'm just going off the assumption that he will play. An injury status that is, I think, at least equally important is the injury status of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Apparently he's been, I don't know what his practice status has been this week, but I guess he's been practicing all last week, but was held out of the Browns game, so his status for Sunday I think will be pretty important for this game as well.
I think it will be important. I don't think it's as important as whether Mahomes plays or not, but there's no question that he gashed them pretty good in the run game the last time, but I would hope that it's going to be a little bit different this time around. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win or lose this game by how effectively they can run the ball. Yeah. I think the Bills will have a better plan for that. Whether or not they're going to be able to make enough plays stopping the passing game is open to question.
I think if you're the Bills, you just got to throw caution to the wind here and see if you can go punch for punch with these guys. You know you have an offense that can put up points, and you know Kansas City is going to score points too. They also have a really good offense. So if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm thinking, you know, this is a game to go to the Super Bowl. We're playing to go to the Super Bowl, so let it hang out, do what we do, throw the ball.
Did it mean throw it 25 times on the first 26 snaps?
I wouldn't say throw it that many times, but, you know, do what you do best. There's no, throw it to Diggs, throw it to Brown, throw it underneath the Beasley. There's no reason to change the game plan that has been working for us for the last, 10 weeks now?
I agree with that. They're going to need to score in this game, and to me, one of the big keys is going to be one of the things that the Bills were really good at, especially in the second half of the season, was putting the ball in the end zone. They're going to need to do that again against Kansas City. One of the things they've struggled with a little bit through 2 rounds of the playoffs is they've been trying field goals when they're not finishing drives, and you can't do that against these guys.
Yeah.
You just can't. You got to score touchdowns against these guys, and That'll be a dangerous sign right off the bat if the Bills are driving the ball down the field and then they kick field goals.
Another noteworthy thing of the last two playoff games is the Bills have been dominated in time of possession by both the Colts and the Ravens. Not a huge stat, but when you're playing a team like the Chiefs,
there's liable to be a lot of short possessions in this game. And again, the time of possession stat doesn't really bother me that much if the Bills are using their time to score.
Yeah.
Which is what they're going to have to do against these guys, and they can do it. The Kansas City defense is okay. It's not great. The thing that bothers me most about the Kansas City defense is that they've got some good guys in the middle of their line. Chris Jones dominated them the last time, and he's still there now. Granted, it was with Brian Winters and Cody Ford at guard, and that's changed. So hopefully these guys with Feliciano back and Butker continuing to do the job that he did, hopefully they're a little more effective with that, which doesn't necessarily mean them being able to run the ball anymore, but hopefully Allen gets a little more time to throw back there.
Well, I would like to see, and this is not to say that they should get away from the passing game. I just said stick to your strength, which is definitely Allen's ability to throw the ball. But how about a little bit of balance in this game? Some semblance. Let's run a few QB options. Let's try rolling Allen out of the pocket a little bit. Try calling a naked bootleg in the red zone or something like that. Just something to, because the reason I think the Bills struggled so bad to move the ball in that first half of the Ravens game is because they didn't even attempt to do anything besides pass, and that made it very easy to defend. So I think
the fact that I think the reason that they don't try to run the ball very much anymore is because they can't run the ball very much anymore. That is not a good run blocking offensive line. And you've heard me say I'm all for Allen running the ball. There's no question about it. But throw the ball, that's what you do, and take advantage of the Kansas City weaknesses.
QB draw. The option plays, you don't have to build your entire game plan around it, but just introduce something that's gonna make them think we're gonna do anything other than pass. That's all I'm looking for.
I'm not gonna question Brian Dable's play calling. He's done a pretty good job for the last 2 years, I would say, and I'm pretty confident he's gonna come up with something good for Kansas City. And again, I'm just going to say, I think they're going to be able to move the ball on these guys. It's going to be a question of whether they can put the ball in the end zone when they get down close, and that is a must in this game.
Yeah. Week 6, they really felt like they weren't. I don't want to say they were scared of the Chiefs. It just kind of that game just kind of gave me the feeling that we don't think we can hang with these guys, so we need to try and slow the game down and run the ball more.
I definitely think that's true. I think
they're not going in this game with that same mindset.
I'm sure that they're not. I would bet money that they're not. I don't put a lot of stock into the Week 6 game because I don't think that Kansas City is going to be able to do that kind of damage to them on the ground again. That game came at a kind of a strange time of the season. They had just come off the Tennessee game, which they had gotten handled, and the Tuesday game, and the Kansas City game actually had gotten moved twice.
Thursday to Monday.
And I think it was from Thursday to Sunday to Monday, right?
Yeah.
It got moved twice. So, and I don't. Both teams probably had injuries in that game. Milano was out though. Edmonds was not up to snuff. So, but I don't put a lot of stock into the Week 6 game. That's a long time ago, and the Bills were a different team, and chances are Kansas City was a little bit different team also.
That's a big story actually going into this game, and I'm glad you brought it up. The Bills have players available to them in this game that they did not in the Week 6 game. You just mentioned Matt Milano. Tremaine Edmonds was not 100% in that game. He was dealing with that shoulder injury. And John Brown was gimpy in that game too. He wasn't 100%. So all those guys are expected to be healthy as far as we know in this game, which could make a huge difference in how the Bills attack this game. We're going to pick this game, but you already know who I'm going to pick. I sat here in this very chair 2 weeks ago and told you that the Bills were not only going to go to the Super Bowl, but they were going to go through Arrowhead to do it. And I am sure as heck Not about to deviate from that pick now. So lock it in. The Bills are going to the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
I will go with I wish I was as confident as you.
Yeah.
That's a little bit tougher pick for me. Kansas City is really good.
I've been picking the Bills all year, man.
And all season long, I've always thought that the Bills were as good as any team in football except one. And they're playing the one.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they can't beat them. I think they can. They need to play a really good game, and they need to not give the ball away and hang on to it. But Kansas City's good, and they're the champs for a reason, and that is going to be a tough game for them. That being said, I'll go with my heart over my head, and I will pick the Bills to win in a high-scoring game, probably similar to what we saw when New England went there 2 years ago. Let's say, in fact, I'll pick the exact same score. I'll pick 37-31 Buffalo.
All right. Who do they play? We got the Packers and the Bucks on the other side. We don't have to go into too much detail in that game, but who are they playing?
Well, I'll pick the Packers because if I'm picking the Bills, the road teams almost never win both of these games on the weekend. So,
right?
Yes. So we may know who hit it after the first game. We may know who the Bills winner after the first game.
That's true. Yeah, we are the last game of Championship Sunday, so we'll know who we're playing by the end of the game if we win. But I think that's going to wrap it up here. I've picked the Bills all season long, even when it didn't make sense. So I ain't about to stop now. I'm picking them all the way to the Super Bowl. But we will be, if they do make it to the Super Bowl, we will be back, certainly, to break down that momentous occasion, and it will be glorious. But until then, I hope you all have a blessed week. Keep staying safe out there. If you'd like to like and subscribe and share this video, we would all be very appreciative of that. And as always, let's go Bills. Saddle up, Bills Mafia.
Let's go Buffalo.